Is South Africa going to the dogs again? Apparently not. This Work Life Matters season shares informal and candid chats with some of SA's youngest startups, businessmen and women, with an understanding of our past and a passion for our future. Our guests draw from Mzansi as an inspiration to grow personally as a brand and individuals, fusing international ideas into a truly SA model, sized to fit our people, economy and culture. Into this episode, we speak to Dr. Leila Sadien, who's a modern medicine woman. Please enjoy. All right, Dr. Leila Sadien, modern visionary medicine woman. How are you?
I'm so lekker, thank you.
You have the most beautiful energy.
Thank you, brother, and so do you.
Thank you so much. Choosing nature as your office, as a shamanic, what does that mean?
Shamanic?
Shamanic?
Oof.
Coaching and guide.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Okay. So, traditional spirituality, right, that sits in all across the world, like it doesn't actually have like a name. Yeah. And to be shaman kind of gets stuck in a Native American, you know, you imagine the
That's
feathers.
That's exactly what I think immediately.
The rattles, like the whole thing. But for many other indigenous kind of traditions, we don't have a name that encompasses everything. And so shamanic has kind of become the umbrella term. Yeah. So myself, I come from a number of heritages as it goes in South Africa. Syrian is a big part of my heritage. Yeah, I've also got some Chinese blood and some German blood. And so my magical roots, let's call them that, come from lots of different places. And so for me to just attach myself to one land is going to be quite limiting. So I use the word shamanism. To me, it encompasses the spirituality that knows that the divine is within everything and within everyone. And it's living a life of sanctity where you are honoring that in every moment.
So, wow, that was a lot.
I was going to say, you're asking me a big question.
Yes, that's a very big question. So I see doctor next to your name, right? Is that medical doctor? What is do you use everything together?
Exactly, yeah. So I am trained as a medical doctor. That is my profession. That is my education. I have also trained as a homeopath. I've trained in integrative medicine. And then I have been initiated into the path of shamanism. And so my work as a medicine woman, which is why I call it modern visionary medicine woman, is about how do you take all those tools and still deliver the medicine of self. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have medicine, Siv, like, you know that, right? Every time you put something out there, every time it's like, this is your calling, this is the wisdom you're meant to bring. What is the platform that you're going to use? Are you going to act? Are you going to dance? Are you going to sing? Like, so I have these tools, and I deliver my medicine to my clients through these tools.
And then give me an example, because for me, it's a world that I know nothing about, and that's why we have you here. So when someone comes to you, what happens? For example, if you went to a normal doctor, I have a broken leg, fixed broken leg. What do people do when they come towards you?
Yeah, so it used to be that they would still come to me with a broken leg, right? And then in the broken leg, I would have a discussion about like the environment and like what are you going to do at home while you heal, and would kind of bring that into the space. I practiced aesthetic medicine for many years, and so they used to come for Botox, right? Or they'd come for weight loss or fillers, whatever.
I've had Botox and fillers.
Yes, as have I, absolutely. Yes. And it was a great journey when it happened. And when people come for that, there is such an incredible opportunity to go deeper, you know, because always there's something else. It's like, actually, just because I don't like what I see in the mirror, or I need my husband to pay more attention to me, or so there was always access point to reach deeper into their spiritual journey through that, you know. Then for many years I ran a weight loss clinic, and so that was beautiful because everybody who kind of has a little bit of extra weight is also dealing with extra baggage emotionally, you know.
It's amazing that you say that, because I feel like currently the internet doesn't believe that anymore. Like there's a certain, when I say believe that, I mean, you see a lot of body positivity, and then there's a lot of body positive. Let's talk about that quickly. There's this whole big body positivity world happening. And for me, I'm a Xhosa man, so I do love
big bodies.
I like big bodies, but I don't think the conversation about body and health is quite different to what it used to be. And
Totally. I had this conversation with someone yesterday.
what is your feelings about that? Because I feel like I sometimes put up a picture of my body, like when I gym for something, and then I get body shamed by overweight people. And I'm like,
yeah.
But
what am I supposed to do?
But
to give you a different angle.
I can't say anything back to you because they're body shaming.
Anything I say is going to be body shaming.
What do you think of the new world?
Yeah.
So we're veering off, but about how
yeah.
people view bodies now compared to where they used to view them.
Totally. Look, babe, I mean, at some level, it's toxic to look at yourself and be like, God, I'm hideous. Or this, and then have people tell you that of course, that is terrible. And so as a race, humanity is evolving beyond that, you know? And so then we meet the next layer. And now we're at this particular layer where it's like, well, let's accept all of it, you know? But then we have to sit in a place of going, okay, so it looks beautiful, actually. I mean, Venus was overweight. The Buddha was overweight, you know? Like, it's beautiful. But how healthy are you?
Yeah.
Like, actually, how much are you honoring the fact that your body is a temple and that you are housing the spirit of the divine within you? And if you can answer 100 fucking percent, then amazing. But when you're using body positivity as an escape,
Yes.
you know, as an escape to not actually look at that aspect, then we're missing the point. And then, and 100% that's not true for everybody.
Well, you've worded it perfectly because I do see some people go body positive when they get to the point when they can't change the body and make it the way they want it to be. Then they go, I'm body positive.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, no. Are you body positive, or have you gone, I'll take it the way it is. I'm cool. I can't change it. Let me just keep it this way.
Yeah.
So that's,
And if you look at the failure of weight loss products out there, and by product I mean programs and everything else, like it's a colossal failure that eventually someone's going to get hurtful, you know? You're like, I've done this for 10 years and I keep yo-yoing and I'm still, God help me, I'm body positive now. You know?
No. I've seen, like, there's a person recently who was body positive for a while, and then she got a gastric bypass. Then everyone was like, wait a minute.
What happened to that? Now you're not body positive anymore.
But we thought you loved your body.
Yes.
What are you doing now?
Yes.
That's been quite interesting to watch online.
Yeah, it's
because
beautiful.
the community has been quite interesting about. Okay, cool. So tell me about that. So there was a weight loss section of your life. Yes, you said you were talking about.
Yeah. So that and so seeing clients from that place and then being able to access and say to them, this is the journey. You can go. I can give you the most phenomenal weight loss program. You're going to lose weight. I mean, we were looking at 10 kilos a month. It was like, and in a very healthy way, you know. But whether or not you're going to get this back depends on whether you fundamentally go to the root cause. And everything is a spiritual cause. Everything. Do you know what I mean? It has a spiritual cause. And if we're not going to touch that place, you're going to keep coming back to this weight set point, and that may be your life.
Yeah.
And that's true for many people. They're like, that's all I need. Thank you. I'm happy to go on a diet and, you know, heat train and do whatever I need to do. And then there are those few, you know, that you can impact. And they hear that and they go, hang on, I actually forget the weight loss. Forget it. Let's go into that other stuff. I want to go there. And then inevitably, they master their body at some level because they've reached a different level of spiritual ascension, you know? And they can master their body in a different way so their weight set point changes. And then you don't have to come back for weight loss. Then you can come back for other things, for optimizing the body, for optimizing the mind and the heart and everything else. So that was that level.
Okay.
And currently where I am is more and more, as I have let go of the need to be enough for people, the need to, how much of myself do I need to limit to be digestible to the planet?
Okay.
As I have healed a lot of that, and I don't think that will be healed completely for the rest of my life, but a big part of it, I still want to do my naked bum picture, for example.
Do it, girl.
Yeah, when I want to be totally free and be me. I have let go of the kind of like, this is a sneaky way to get to spirit. I'm now like, if you want to get to spirit, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I can do. This is how I can hold you. And so people come and they say, I'm in my spiritual kind of awakening, and I have a sense that my life is meant to be bigger than it is. And I'm hitting all the glass ceilings. I don't know how to push past this. the universe is telling me, or rather the world is telling me it's not possible, this greatness that I feel inside me, I need your help. And so they arrive and I go through a assessment of their terrain. And so we meet in the garden or we visit at their homes or whatever that looks like. And I get a sense of what's going on with their body. I get a sense of where they are emotionally, where they are on an energetic level. And then as shaman, I will begin to engage with their spirit guides and their ancestors, and I will get a sense of where they're meant to be and where they're meant to go. And then I develop a GPS system to navigate as a, let's call it a transpersonal coach for now, which we can talk about what that is if you need to. But we navigate a journey that says this is how we get from A to B, this is how long this is going to take. And then once you leave that place, you will have initiated into a higher level of self. It's like you're going to clock this level of the game, and now you're playing the game at a different level.
Okay.
So that's what it looks like.
So then, how did you end up there compared to what you were doing before? Because you would say the stuff you were doing before was more superficial. Is that? Could I use that word?
The access point was more superficial.
Okay.
Yeah, the work was always deep, but the
Okay.
access was more superficial. How I got there was when you're marketing to the world and saying, I offer Botox and fillers, 1 million people are going to come, right? This is a piece also about knowing that you're a gifted human being. Like if I know this about myself, and I can say this because I know this about many of my clients too. They are gifted human beings. If they landed in an art gallery, they would probably learn to fucking paint brilliantly. I can say that. Hey?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And you know, if you told them to be a secretary, they'd be the best secretary in the world. Like they know that they're gifted, and I know that I was gifted. I could do everything that I tried to do brilliantly, but it didn't quite float my boat. It didn't light me up, you know. So there's this sense of like, when I do something that I absolutely love, I feel like I'm in the zone. It feeds me energetically. But when I was having to see 30 Botox clients to get to the one person that lit me up, it was like it's a waste of energy, you know, because then it drains everything else. It drains. And so I guess the journey was about how do I become more economically savvy with my energy.
Yeah.
And this is what I do with my clients. I'm like, can we live 90% of our lives in the zone? Yeah, and then maybe 10% is the drag you have to do outside. Can your relationship be part of that, like 90%? Can every step that you take with admin, with your business, with dealing with your clients, whatever, be in the zone? Because then we're success. Then that's kind of your purpose. That's where you're meant to be. And how many people do we know that live like that?
Yeah. So do you think more people should try live like that?
I think every single person on the planet should
Agreed.
live like that.
Yeah.
Do you know?
So what are your goals in this particular space that you're in? Because I see you're very passionate about it. And I think that when I listen to you speak, I'm about energies. There's certain energies that I can be around that add to me, and some of them that take away from me.
Yeah.
And there's certain people who they call you and they're like, they want to see you, and you're like, oh, you just want my energy. They don't even know that's what
they're
they're
getting.
Yeah. So what are your visions and goals for people, and to people who are listening, who's like, I want to be better and a better version of self?
Yes.
What kind of stuff could you say and share?
In terms of my goals, I would say, as I'm moving toward going from seeing 4,000 patients in a year, right, to maybe 30 clients in a year, right, I can feel how much that lights me up. I can feel the way that I can impact that person is profoundly different, you know. And if I had 5 clients in a year, like if I had 5 people that I am locked into energetically, that I can bring all of my lifetimes of being and knowledge into impacting that person, like, you know, how much can I change that person's life? Okay. And then if that person is a person of influence, if that person is impacting 1 million people, 1 billion people, whatever, like, then I would have felt like that was a life worth living. You know what I mean?
get that, yeah.
So the sense on a metaphysical level is how much concentrated light can I bring into this planet in my lifetime?
So we've spoken about all the positives about what you do. Let's talk about the negatives. So can you just walk day to day from morning to evening and just be just be a normal person?
So I love that I'm having this conversation with you. Thank you for seeing all those things.
No, I'm just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, can you just,
Yeah.
because there are times, for example, so I'm in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
I can't watch film and just be an audience member
exactly.
without going, oh, look at that. See the color change.
Yeah,
the audio setup is so bad. Oh, continuity.
Yes.
I miss being able to just be
a normal person.
just be a normal consumer of content without breaking it down and going, they did this, and they did this, and they did this. Oh, I wonder who was the makeup artist.
I know. And it's exactly the thing we always talk about, being on.
Yeah.
You know, like you're always on. You always have to be on. But as I have integrated more and more who I am outside of, this is my identity. Do you know, because there's that piece, like, the identity of the shamanic medicine woman. It's a fucking easy thing to get entrapped by. You know, I mean, the jewelry already, like, it's an easy thing. And the more that you kind of integrate it into self and not have it be separate to actually the core of your truth, the more you can walk with ease as a person.
Okay.
Because now you're walking as a person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like the mask that you're wearing anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Being a doctor now is, actually, this is just me being me.
Me.
Yeah. Immersing into full, like, so this is the other piece. Do you know anything about the human design? You need to check it out, okay? So you just need your birthday and your birth time.
Okay.
And there are 5 different types of energy types on this planet. And it's how you make energy in the world, right? And it's going to change your life.
Okay.
I am a projector. And
Okay.
there are a few people in the world who are projectors. So as a projector, I see the bird's eye view of everything, right? So when people come into my life, and now I'm a projector and I can see into a multidimensional world.
Can you not just call that perspective?
You can call it perspective, but it's perspective with a program running that is wanting to optimize it. Everywhere you go.
Okay.
You know?
I feel you.
So the minute you like sit with someone and you on, I'm already going, oh, I know how to optimize your life on this level, this level, and that level. And one of the big things with projectors is we get so tired. We need a nap every day, you know. And when we sleep at night, it's like critical that nobody wakes us up, because the amount of energy that takes all the time. So even when I decide I'm going to switch like off and I'm just going to chill, I also have to make a decision about, can I change the fundamental aspect of my being that wants to make everything perfect and bring everything into harmony?
So in a world in the world that you're in, I mean the world that you work with, this sounds normal. But the person who's not in your world, it sounds like hocus pocus.
Really?
No, I'm not saying it sounds like, because I have friends who are in this world. But how do we make it more accessible?
Yeah.
So I say to people all the time as well is, so let's talk about masculinity and patriarchy, whatever, all these terminologies. Yeah. The people who need to learn about all these things don't care about the big words. It's about simplifying it, right?
100%.
How do we make it more accessible to the everyday person who's not about, you know, different wordings that are not, you know.
Yeah. So my guide for most of my life was a industrial psychologist, but she was and still is probably one of the most powerful shaman I know, right? She didn't even say the word shaman for 10 years. I didn't even know she was doing what she was doing. You know, she didn't give me context, and it wasn't in a time in the world where we shared this kind of thing. She just sat down with me. She was like a coach, you know, but I knew when I sat with her that she was pushing me into all my uncomfortable places that I couldn't see, and that she could see what was going on there, you know? So nowadays everyone's got a coach, right? And the thing about a coach usually is that they're a little bit more intuitive than most people. Let's use that word. I think that's acceptable enough. Right? Everyone's okay with like intuitive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying people are okay with for example, people weren't okay with vegans 20 years ago, but now vegans is an everyday word. Gluten intolerant. What? No, you know what I mean. But now it's accessible and it's used. People talk with words about non-binary and all these things that 10 years ago we didn't have a single idea.
100%.
So do you think it'll get to the point where everyone knows the kind of stuff that you're talking about?
And this is the thing with the people that I work with. Usually they're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, well, how did I end up sitting in a retreat, having kambo, doing breath? How did I get here yesterday? I was in a corporate job where this wasn't even in my reality. But the point is like bringing them closer and closer to finding a language for what they've always known to be true. And this is the piece, like, it feels like the systems have been cultivated to take us further and further away from the truth of our essence. And so they've stolen our language, they've stolen our traditions. And so when we slowly kind of bring them in, someone remembers that word feels right. Somehow when I say the word excavate my truth, suddenly that can describe something I didn't have words to describe before. So yeah, being intuitive, being an empath, you kind of sense what the person is ready for, and you meet them where they are, because what the hell is the point speaking high level up here and nobody can understand you.
And how's it being a woman in this particular world?
Oh, wonderful. Oh my God, so wonderful. For the first time, I can say, in all of the worlds that I have been through, this is the most wonderful being a woman, because I can access, way back when the woman was the holder of the spiritual curriculum in the community. It was the priestess that looked after the temple. The oracles were women. Like, it is the most natural thing in my being as a woman to hold magic. It is the most natural thing for me to be connected to nature, the most natural thing for me to be able to see the big picture of somebody's life. Because I am connected to my femininity, and God knows that was like a couple of decades worth of journey, from being like a suit-wearing, high-heeled medical doctor owning a practice, to like mostly barefoot and naked.
Nudities all the way. One of my friends, Suraya, says the most respected and seen she ever feels is when she goes into a jiu-jitsu gym.
Sure.
And she says that's when she feels more respected than she feels in everyday life.
Wow.
She says most respected and seen in a jiu-jitsu gym, which is mixed martial arts.
Wow.
So thank you so much for an incredible conversation. It's only supposed to be 25 minutes. We could talk for hours about it. So thank you so much for taking me into this world of shaman and the kind of work that you're doing.
May it be the beginning.
Do you think, before we carry on, finish, your doctor confuses people, the DR next to your name?
No.
So because they think you're doing medical stuff. Do they not?
I am.
So it is all involved. It's all encompassed in one.
Totally.
I love that.
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Like, you can't build and leave behind all the things you've learned. Like, you keep growing with what you have. So no, I don't think it confuses them. I think that it surprises them.
Yes, the word confused, surprise. Those are similar.
Yeah, and people will go, "Are you a real doctor?"
Yes,
Yeah.
Because when I first read it, I was like,
It's like, like the doctor that makes penises bigger, that doctor.
Yeah. So you don't know what kind of, you're like, oh, there's more to this.
Because there are all kinds of doctors, aren't there?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for the conversation.